Shout out to Trey Gonzalez for making the background music for this video.
Hey you! I love Spider-Verse. You love Spider-Verse. It's the best movie of all time. And if you don't think so, I'm gonna come to your house. Hello everyone, it's me, probably Man Spider here, and I'm gonna be going over some of the new Across the Spider-Verse leaks, because I wanted to put out a video on the sequel to this movie, but I also didn't want to be super professional about it. So this entire video is going to be my favorite thing in the world, unscripted. But before I go on with the video, today I'm lucky enough to be sponsored by not one, but two awesome games. If you don't like one of these, maybe you'll like the other. If you like intense, adrenaline-pumping competitive shooters with a heavy focus on big weapons, massive action, and all-around chaos, then you'll definitely want to check out this first game, Mech Arena. It's a 5v5 mobile shooter with a bunch of mechs with insane abilities, a crazy variety of weapons, and a massive amount of pilots to choose from to change the way you play. If there's one thing I love about Mech Arena is that the mechs consistently have such great designs. Even some of the default looks for the mechs are absolutely spectacular. I loved using the RPGs and the plasma cannons to cause as much mayhem in-game as possible, and opening fortune vaults was really exciting, as I was pumped to see what new skins I would get to shake up the designs of my mechs. But if you somehow aren't interested in Mech Arena, you could always check out Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is the perfect alternative to Mech Arena. With its dark fantasy tones, its vast array of characters to collect, Raid Shadow Legends is the biggest and best hero collection game out there, with millions of players starting their adventures every day. It's got huge amounts of content, from brutal dungeons to clan bosses to high-stakes PvP battles against other players. It's played by many for a reason, and it's still getting much bigger. There's one thing that puts Raid Shadow Legends above most other fantasy media for me, it's that Raid Shadow Legends doesn't look like a boring, desaturated mess of armored men fighting each other. It's actually a really colorful game with interesting characters and settings. You don't have to have just humans on your team. You can also unlock other mythical creatures like dragons and demons. I especially love the designs of some of the bosses too, and I never get bored looking at gameplay from Raid Shadow Legends. So you have two options. Both are 100% free, and it helps out the channel if you participate. Whichever one you choose, make sure you scan my QR codes to use the link below to get special loot. You could download Mech Arena to get bonuses worth $25. We're talking one Firelight skin, one Prodigy crate, and one Plasma Cannon 4 to help kickstart your game. And if you're quick, you can add me to your friends, and we can play some matches together. So don't wait around. Or you can install Raid Shadow Legends via my link as well, and you'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking about a free epic champion, Aina, 200k silver, 1 energy refill, and 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. All this treasure is available for new players and will be waiting for you here. Download now, and I'll see you guys in games. So I'm gonna get right into it. First thing I wanted to talk about is, you guys know how I feel about Miles Morales' design in Across the Spider-Verse. I like it. Hold on, stop. Don't look at what's on screen. Wait. Like, I love this design, and I love it so much. And there's one thing that makes me really, really upset about it because I like it so much. It's one of those situations where it's like, this costume is so close to being perfect, but there's one thing that fucked it up. And it's the leg thingies. I love this design, but for the love of God, just boom. Boom. Isn't that much better? I love it. Come on, it connects to the hand. Guys, just go all the way, please. Anyway, I have also found another thing I don't like about this design. And I'm not gonna like trash on this movie like I usually do, because the first movie was the best Spider-Man movie of all time, and I'm going to be very delicate about it. Look at these. There's armor plating. Look, there's armor plating on Miles' suit. Look, I kind of don't like it. Like, I think now I can kind of really say that this suit is a downgrade from his previous one, because the thing I loved about the previous Miles suit is that it was undoubtedly Miles. You know what I mean? Like, he took the Spider-Man uniform and he made it himself. Like, he made it into a Miles Morales suit. He changed Spider-Man from being Spider-Man and made it Miles Morales. He made the suit. He was being himself. He designed the suit after his own soul. You know what I mean? That suit is Miles Morales. His personality is in that suit. His art is in that suit. It's him. That suit is him. And I think the number one thing about Miles Morales that I love is that he's Miles first, Spider-Man second. Be yourself. He is Miles Morales, Spider-Man second. And I'm not one of those Twitter people that's like, Miles Morales isn't Spider-Man. He is. I'm going to get into why I don't like the armor plating. I just feel like it's too... You know what I mean? It's too official. You know what I mean? It makes him feel like too much of a superhero. And I guess the thing I liked about Miles the most, like, I love when they do this to Miles, is that, like, they make him more of, like, a person, you know. You know what I mean? He's more personal to the people he saves than he is, like, in Miles Morales, in that game, they explicitly state he's our Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Miles helps out people in the community, and, like, I think Godzilla Mendoza said it the best, and it's like, Peter has become that superhero that, like, swings above the streets of New York, and, you know what I mean? Peter's, like, the tier of superhero where he's, like, hanging out with the Avengers now and stuff, and Miles has sort of taken his place as, like, the more street-bound superhero who really looks after the people of New York, and especially Brooklyn, right? And I just think the armor plating makes him look too much like a real superhero. I just kind of wish we would go back to his own, like, his old suit where there was, like, less armor. That's all I have to say about it. It's not to say it's a bad suit, though. I still like it, but I like the original better. Gwen Stacy. We love her. There's not much I have to say about Gwen Stacy that's negative. I love her new costume. I love the pink forearms. Those are a great add-on that I don't think makes it better than the original, but also doesn't make it worse. I think it's a taste thing. Whether you like it or not, you can put it on there and it won't decrease the original quality. I do want to see what her suit looks like with the longer teal Converse, but that's all I have to say. I love it. I think she's great. I love her. Amazing. Also, this little juicy tidbit got confirmed last week when they released this entire board on accident, by the way. That's the only reason. We're looking at a Trouble game right now. We're looking at a board game, by the way. Forgot to mention. Look, it's Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. And he's also a little chip on the board. And I think that implies he might be important to the plot, because here he is hanging out with the three people we've already seen. Miles, 2099, Gwen, and here he is. He's got his own little corner on the board. I don't know if this means he's an important Spider-Man or not. Hopefully he is. Ben's been getting done really dirty recently, and I think Spider-Man fans need some good Ben Reilly content. So put him in a movie. I do like that he's also in, like, the 90s-esque art style Ben Reilly was commonly drawn in. I love the lenses. We don't see enough big, angular, pointy Spider-Man lenses in enough media. They did a great job. I love this. 2099 is a bit of a mixed bag for me. You know, and I'm going to get into it in a bit. There's some things I like about the suit. I like when tech is inlaid into the fabric itself. I think this does it than it didn't. This suit does it better than Shattered Dimensions. Shattered Dimensions did a similar thing, where the tech would glow. There would be like a little animation that would play over the whole suit over and over on loop. Love that. But I didn't like it how it was executed in that game. I like it here a lot better. I think the torso part of this suit is good. We're going to look at the toy, because the toy appears to be fairly accurate. I love the torso part. I have no issues with the torso part. I love it. I love that it actually attempts to look like a spider, and it looks like a good mix between a spider and a skull, and I love that. And that was one of the nitpicks I've always had about the original 2099 design, is that it doesn't at all look like a Spider-Man. Of course, except for when he kind of has the web cape. Even still, that doesn't really help, and he rarely wears it in any other incarnation anyway. My problem area, I think, is just, like, these weird, like, red sections that just pop up on the limbs. They don't feel... Oh, don't look, don't skip ahead. Like, these little armor pieces on the arms just sort of feel tacked on. I don't really feel like they're as well integrated into the design as some of the other parts. And part of me just kind of makes me wish that they just went with the original Arrow design of the Spider-Man 2099 suit. Yeah, like this. Part of me just makes me wish they went with that. Actually, make it thicker. I think this design constitutes like a thick-ass fucking trail. Yeah, like I think I would have liked if they went with the Arrow design more, especially if they made it really thick. I think that would have done a really good job. But as of now, I'm kind of iffy about it. I don't know whether I like it or don't like it. I think it's good. I'll have to wait until I see it in the movie. I might end up loving it. I might end up feeling mid about it. But I definitely won't say that I hate it. Hobart Brown. Now, if there's one thing I like about the alternate Spider-Man designs that they've shown off so far, is that they haven't been afraid to go away from more of the like Spider-Verse standard style and give them like their own art style that fits their own universe. I like that. What I don't like is that they took away his suit. I mean, I guess an upside of it is that people will know that Spider-Punk is black, because he is. Not a lot of people knew that Spider-Punk was black, but at the same time, I kind of wish they at least tried to give him his costume. I do like the way the mask looks, though. It removes my issue I had with the PS4 suit, where I think this costume just looks way too friendly to be... Like, the base suit itself doesn't look punky enough. Like, the eyes were just way too friendly looking. Like, these look like some classic suit lenses. This is Hobart Brown we're talking about. This is Spider-Punk. This is the guy who defeats an army of symbiotes with an amp and a guitar with a fucking shredding ass guitar riff, okay? This is a punk. It's Spider-Punk. Give him some punky lenses. Like, these eyes are so much angrier. They're so much punkier. They're so much grittier. Like, I think the Spider-Verse design does this very well. And it looks like his webs will be a little messy, and I like that. Also, I don't know why I didn't go over that section with this picture, because this is obviously a way clear image of it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's fine if you like it. I won't disagree with you if you like it, but me, I'm much more of a suit guy. I care about the preservation of costumes throughout superhero media, but at the same time, I miss Spider-Punk's suit. I miss Punk's suit, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm fine with it being like this. I just wish he had his suit. Cyborg Spider-Man. I love this. He looks like a gritty ass action comic. He looks big. He looks scary. I don't know what his purpose is going to be in the plot, but I love him. I don't have any complaints about him. I think he looks great. Like, this is cool. I like this. I love that they also integrated some of the other aspects from the design and didn't just go like full out do Spider-Verse shit and do whatever you want like they did with Punk. I like that they included the arm grenades, that big ass shoulder piece that the Spider Cyborg costume has. Love it. Great. Also, here's a closer look at the Ben Reilly costume. And hot damn, he looks like he's taken straight out of the comics. Amazing. Also, I do want to go over this tweet I made the other day. I'm going to put Twitter on screen. You know what? Let's put Twitter on screen. Oh, sorry. I got a anime winning on my timeline. Okay, so here's my tweet about it. I said, I've been saying this, and somebody in my comments did a little bit of debunkaroonies on me and was like, hey, it says Miguel O'Hara. So, oh wait, I didn't even explain what my tweet was. Essentially, I, along with a bunch of other people, were theorizing that this is supposed to be Miguel O'Hara's son, because this is what his costume looks like. It's got all these cuts. And then you go over to the design in this movie. It looks very similar, and it would explain why he immediately fucking lunged at Miles. Whatever. But they're right. Thank you all for correcting me. Anyway, back to the drawing board. Yeah, so it's not Gabriel. Unless it's a misprint, then whatever. Where is he? Okay? I miss my boy. My boy, Peter Parker. Peter Benjamin Parker. I miss him. I'm fine if he doesn't show up in this movie. I understand. I realize that I want him to show up in this movie because I love him, not because it would make the plot any better. If anything, I think him showing up again has a chance of overcrowding the plot. But I love him. I love Peter B. Parker. He is one of my favorite Spider-Man adaptations. And I want to see him again because I miss him. And I want to know whether or not he had kids with Mary Jane or not. And I love him and I miss him. But I do want to say, I hope they don't change his costume. Because I think the appropriate way to go with Peter B. Parker is to have him be, a classic Spider-Man again. Because he's had his redemption arc, you know what I mean? He's come off of his cynical high horse. He's getting back together with Mary Jane. He's feeling better about life in general, assumably. So I think now he's more fitting of a brighter Spider-Man suit. Whereas in the last movie, I felt that his Spider-Man suit was a little bit too bright. And I know it was supposed to be sort of a juxtaposition to who he is as a character now. Because he's sort of like fallen from grace. And now he's wearing this Spider-Man suit that doesn't suit him tonally. But I think now Peter B. Parker should be wearing this costume because now he deserves to wear it. I think it'd be even better because if my proposed plan was true, where he wore a darker Spider-Man costume with maybe like a darker blue and a sharper emblem and maybe like sharper eyes and messier webs and like web wings, then he would be wearing the suit you saw R.I.P. Peter wear, the Peter who died in the first movie, and you would think, oh, Peter B. Parker has changed as a character. He's happier now, as you can tell by his happier costume. That's what I think. But anyway, that's all I had to say about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I really, really, really am praying this movie comes close to the original because I have been defending the original with blood, sweat, and tears ever since it first came out. It is the best Spider-Man movie ever made, and I will fight for years about this. That movie is so consistent, and there's not a lot of criticism about it that I could agree with. There are very few points that I will agree with you about criticizing on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's just the most solid experience for Spider-Man, for me. So, I really hope this movie holds up to that standard. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching me ramble onto my manga studio for like however long this video is. And I'll see you guys next time. Also, go to my community tab and respond to a poll. I want to know if I can make content about something. Thank you. Also, I just wanted to leave a message here for everyone who's going to watch the video all the way. Because I know not a lot of you watch the video all the way through to the end. So I want to leave a message here for the people I know are the real ones. You know what I mean? I just want to say I love you all. And I've had, like, such a good month on YouTube this month, monetarily. And I just wanted to say thank you all so much for getting me there. I promise I'm going to put a huge portion of that money to making better content, not just on YouTube, but on Instagram, making more suits, more TikToks, more videos, whatever you guys want. I just want to say thank you. And I really love you all. Like, YouTubing has been something I wanted to do since I was a little kid. And I'm glad that you guys were here to scoop me up into the limelight when I just, started to give up on it. Thank you all so much. I love you all.